Do your eyelashes look like ramen noodles or spider legs? Do you avoid drawing eyelashes because they ruin all your hard work? I'm Darlene, and today I'll show you 3 helpful things to keep in mind when drawing eyelashes, and then show you how you can apply them to your drawing, breaking the process down so it feels easier to tackle. My first tip is to practice drawing smooth strokes until you can do it pretty consistently. If you have trouble drawing the very first lash on your eye, this is going to help build your confidence and muscle memory. Make sure to use a sharpened pencil or the sharp side of your pencil, so each lash looks thin and clean. If you're too lazy to sharpen, use a thin mechanical pencil. If your strokes look too grainy, you may be using too soft a pencil, or your paper is too textured. Eyelashes are thickest at the base and come to a point at the end, so you want to make sure to use more pressure at the beginning of your stroke and lift your pencil up swiftly at the end. If the end of your stroke looks too blunt, use another stroke to add a pointy tip on the end of the hair. If there are any inconsistencies from the addition, just pinch your kneaded eraser to a fine tip and dab some graphite away. If you don't have one, you can easily make one using my tutorial in the description. If your strokes are very angular, try slowing down. Find a pace that works best for you. If they're wobbly, try a looser grip, or limit the movement of your fingers, and instead use your wrist and elbow to move. Since the eyelids are curved, we'll see lashes at different angles. How can we draw lashes that look like they're pointing in different directions? A curved lash from the side view might look like this, a wide J shape. As it turns to a 3/4 angle, the J shape becomes more narrow or squished, until the hook part of the J disappears. Sometimes this can look like a straight line. If you want to draw lashes that are less curved or downward pointing, you can use something like a twist tie to help you understand what the lash will look like from any angle. So as you draw, think about the curvature of the eyelid wrapped around the eyeball and draw the lashes so they look like they're pointing in the right direction. But if we draw them like this, where the eyelashes are perfectly transitioning from one angle to the next, it will look extremely unnatural and kind of like spider legs. And that's why we want to introduce randomness. Instead of predictable, perfectly spaced, perfectly curved lashes, we want them to look more random and interesting. This randomness will make your lashes look more realistic because nothing on the face, especially hair, is perfect. Here are 6 ways you can make your lashes look more random. One thing we want to consciously avoid is drawing the lashes in a perfectly straight row along the eyelid's lash line. Lashes grow out in a more unpredictable, staggered pattern like this. Let's make it even more interesting by tapering some of the lashes together or completely crossing them over each other. Small tweak, but it makes such a big difference. See how boring the old version looked? Keep in mind that if you do the same thing too many times in a row, it'll start to look predictable and less realistic, so try to mix it up. Instead of drawing all our lashes the same length, we can vary the length of each one slightly. Play with different degrees of curvature to avoid a uniform look. Vary your pencil pressure to achieve a variety of thicknesses, drawing slightly thicker lashes or even super light and thin lashes. Thin lashes are great to use in areas where you think something is missing, but think adding another full-sized lash would crowd the area too much. Use these ones sparingly and keep them short. Introduce odd or stray hairs. Throw in some odd ones here and there, like a lash that points in a completely different direction from the ones around it, or strays that kind of hang out on their own. When you combine all of these together using your own unique formula, you can achieve very natural-looking lashes. Before we get into the application part of this tutorial, I want to introduce you to the awesome sponsor for this video, Skillshare, an online learning community for creative and curious people, offering thousands of classes on topics like fine art, illustration, graphic design, and so much more. That's just one of the things that enticed me to join Skillshare. The vast variety of topics and teachers to choose from makes it so easy to find content I want to learn. And I love how easy it is to just browse and stumble upon fun classes because I always want to learn something new. Lately, I've been interested in learning about design. This particular class by George Bokwa called Logo Design with Grids, Timeless Style from Simple Shapes just got me so excited. I enjoyed seeing his process of developing this perfect crisp logo using grids and how he uses simple shapes like circles and squares in his designs. Something about watching him use the grid and seeing things fit perfectly into place just got me so excited to try it on my own logo and dig into this topic even deeper. I have a long way to go and a lot more to learn, but I'm just having so much fun with it. Skillshare classes are well structured, including a combination of video lessons and a class project where you can be inspired by what other members have created. And since Skillshare is created specifically for learning, there are no ads and new premium classes are launched each week. So there's always something new to discover. Skillshare is offering the first 1,000 of my subscribers who click the link in the description a 1-month free trial, so you can start exploring your creativity today. Okay, back to the tutorial. Now let's see how we can apply all of the things I mentioned earlier to a drawing. If you don't have a drawing to apply this to, you can make a line drawing, or pause the video and trace this one if you'd like. So the first step is we're going to draw the first 3 lashes on each lid to identify where we want the lashes to point to the left, forward, and to the right. This is where you decide how curved you want the lashes to be. And if you want downward pointing lashes, upward pointing ones, or somewhere in between. We'll fill in the rest later. These first 3 lashes are guides to help us stay on track because it's easy to get lost in the details and forget about all the angle changes. Eyelashes grow along the outer edge of each eyelid, so make sure you don't venture too far in toward the eyeball. Keep in mind that the lower lashes are thinner and shorter than the upper ones, but I have seen some people with very long lower lashes. Another thing to keep in mind is to draw shorter and thinner lashes near the inner corner of the eye. Once you're happy with the first few lashes, let's go in and fill all the lashes in between. It's up to you where you want to start. I'll go from left to right. We're going to do this in layers, so spread your lashes out and don't feel like you need to draw all of them in your very first pass. What we want to focus on is transitioning our lashes from one angle to the next without creating an obvious pattern. See how these two dip down lower than the leftmost lash? I also have 2 lashes here that taper together. As you add these new lashes, think about how you can make each one look slightly different from its neighbor to avoid making them look too predictable, preventing a continuous pattern from forming. It's okay to have some uniformity like what I have here. If you want to break up the pattern without erasing what you have, draw some odd lashes like this that curve differently or point in a different direction. Once you have your first layer down, move on to a second layer, adding as many lashes as you would like without overcrowding. Notice how the growth pattern looks random. If you accidentally draw like 20 lashes in a perfect row, don't panic. You can easily change the root location by simply adding a little more graphite, lengthening your stroke, like I'm doing in this example. Humans have around 75 lashes on the lower eyelid. You can draw more or much less. It's up to your creative decision. Now don't forget to take a step back every now and then to see the overall shape that the lashes are starting to form. Continue to fill your lashes layer by layer. You can create groups of eyelashes that are tapered together or spread them all out if you like. Just for your reference, humans have 90 to 160 eyelashes on the upper eyelid. Once you're happy with your eyelashes, you can add some details like eyelash reflections within the eye. You can also lightly shade the skin beyond the eyelashes to account for the shadows that they cast. If you want to give the skin around the eyelashes a bumpy, realistic skin texture, try shading in a circular motion. You could also shade along the eyeball to account for cast shadows from the newly added eyelashes, depending on how you're lighting the scene. And that's it! Here's a slideshow of the whole process from beginning to end. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful. Here are some other videos that I think you might enjoy. If you'd like to support this channel, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.